everyone, it's Adam Ratliff with Adam So Fun, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about how I use the side clamps on my quilts. As you can see, I have these weird straps pinned to the side of my quilt because I don't actually clamp to my quilt. I found that the clamps got in my way. I use a ton of rulers, and I like to call my quilting a menagerie because I'll use Pro Stitcher, I'll use rulers, and I'll do free motion, oftentimes all on the same quilt because that's allowed, because I get to make up my rules. But because I use so many rulers and I'm switching between techniques so often, I always leave my ruler base on. And you can do that. Some people ask whenever I'm teaching, and you can 100% leave that ruler base on all the time. And mine's on right now because on this quilt I was using a straight edge ruler, my favorite straight edge, the Handy Quilter Skinny Ruler. Get one today. I love this ruler. I tend to have I do have smaller hands, and this ruler fits in my hand so easily, which is why I love it. And then there's the mini ruler, the HQ mini ruler, which is just a smaller version of the skinny. Again, small, they fit in my hands, and I can kind of maneuver them really quick. So those are my two favorite straight line rulers. But the ruler that touches every quilt that I stitch is the Handy Quilter Versatool, because I use this to help base down the edges of my quilt. I usually have my Surefoot on. I've been using Pro Stitcher, so I have my glide foot. This quilt has some really thick seams in it, so I pop that glide foot on so I can stitch right over. I'm not worried about it. But when my Surefoot was still on, I was using it to base down the sides, and with this Versatool, there's a straight edge, and there's this little etched line, and that needle's going to connect the etched line from one side to the other. So I tend to do things really fast, and this helps me slow down when I'm basting the edges of my quilt, and it also helps me from stitching over my finger because I can hold the quilt down with this. So a lot of people will kind of finger walk that stitching across the top. With the Versatool, I can hold the edge down. I see my etched line, and I can use that to stitch right across really close to the edge of that quilt. So it keeps my hands and everything away from the needle while it's running, which is something I really like because, again, I don't want to stitch over my finger. But because that, my ruler base is on all the time, if I had clamps right here next to the edge of my quilt, as I was trying to base this edge down, I'm actually on that basting line. My ruler base is coming out to here. So I would be hitting those clamps. I'd have to take them off. So this brings these straps that I use, bring those clamps out about a foot. So they're totally outside the way. And it's just a piece of backpack strap or webbing. I don't know what the official name, I call it backpack strap, but I don't know the official name. I think it's webbing. Cotton or polyester, either one's going to work. I found whatever my local quilt shop had and bought, I want to say about 3 yards of it. I cut them in 12-inch strips, so I needed 3 of them, so I had at least 2 yards, so I'm sure I got some overhang. But and I think I actually made some for a friend. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. I've had it for 4 years. But yeah, I'm going to show you how I make these. Super easy, but seriously amazing, and changed my life. And they work very easily. I mean, I keep one of the Handy Quilter long arm pins, and I just pin it on. If I have backing and batting, I pin both. Some people are like, oh, never pin your batting. Some people are always pin my batting. I do whatever I want. Whatever's there, it works. It works for me. If it works for you, don't let anyone tell you you're doing it wrong. And what I also like is there's a lip on this side that the clamp can clamp onto. And now everything's out of my way. I can stitch and test my tension off to the side, not hitting clamps, and everything's still tight. So it's not like I'm testing my tension without the actual quilt top being tight. I just love these things. Like I said, I've used them almost the whole time I've had my long arm. So, because I love rulers. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, if you don't, you should. But if you already do, you know that I love rulers. I'm always using them, and I'm always losing them. I tend to put them in places and not remember where they are. But yeah, I'm going to take you over to the domestic machine, and I'm going to show you how I make these. And at the end of the video, you'll know how to make one, and hopefully you try them out yourself. We'll see you in a minute. All right, everyone, I am here at my sewing station. Today I'm working with my Handy Quilter Stitch 510. This is a straight stitch machine. Super awesome, super fast. So if I have something that I just need to get through and I'm doing a lot of piecing and they're longer strips and things, I always pull this baby out because I can zip right through it. So I have my piece of webbing. This is, remember I said I probably bought like 3 yards of it when I first got it. So it's just an extra piece. So I have, this is my Quilter Select ruler. These are awesome. They have kind of a non-slick backing to them. I love them, especially if I'm cutting strips, because usually if I'm cutting, you know, when you get to the end, it kind of, with these ones, it won't do it because they have that non-slick on the back. And this is just a 12-inch ruler. So I'm going to use this. And I have my little spinny cutting mat that I leave over here in case I'm trimming stuff at my desk or at my machine, and I'm just going to cut my 12-inch strip. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, this is just going to go onto the machine to clamp on. So, I mean, if it's 12.5 inches, that's probably fine. I just like to make it a little, make them longer because I want that extra room to keep my clamps away from that ruler base. So now, here's the really hard part. Because I want to finish these edges off, because I don't want this, they'll start to fray. So I want to finish these edges off. I'm going to fold in like a 1/4 inch, and then I'm going to flip it and do it again. So I have a little tiny burrito, and that's it. That's all I do. So I'm going to take it to my machine, and I don't have a special foot on or anything. I want to make sure I'm stitching close enough, and actually I'll stitch it with the lip up. I want to stitch close enough that I'm getting like 1/8 of an inch or a little less than 1/4 inch away from this inner fold, because I just want to make sure I'm tacking all those layers down. And you know, nothing fancy. I mean, we're just stitching. Oh, I can't get to my foot pedal. So I stitched across. I will reverse. And I just go back and forth a few times, just because I want to make sure that's going to be stitched down. I'm using bright pink thread so you can see it. And then I'll do the other side. Again, I'm just folding and folding over. I'm not measuring it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just giving me lips on the side of this, on the side of my strap for my clamps to hold on to. And we'll do the next one. Grab my snips, snip my threads, and I probably have a few over there that I actually never snipped the threads on, because again, it's not going to do anything. This is just there to clamp on. I'll clean it up though. Where's my thread? I usually have a little thread basket. I cleaned up for you all, and now I don't have anywhere to put my threads. So there's my strap. I have my 2 little lips. My clamp is going to go onto one. The other one's going to be pinned onto my back or my top. And if you are using a studio frame, you're going to make 4 of these. If you're using a gallery frame, you're going to make 6. And there you have it. I hope this helps you out. I hope if you're someone who loves rulers like I do, that you try this out and see if it helps a little bit. Every quilt I do, ruler or not, this is how I do it now. I just leave them always on the clamps. If you like the video, make sure you hit the give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so you see what else is coming up in the future, and hit the bell. Don't forget, hit the bell icon so when I do put new videos out, which I'm going to try to do once a week, that you get notified and you'll see them when they post. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time, everybody. And remember, I'm on social media, AdamSewFun, and that's SEW, and you can check out my website, AdamSewFun.com, for more news, classes, all of that jazz. So we'll see you next time. Bye.